Welcome to my channel. Here, we explore the fascinating world of Kennedy half-dollar coins, uncovering rare varieties, historic finds, and coins that could be worth thousands today. Join us for tips, auctions, and stories behind every coin. Our next coin, the 1984 Kennedy half-dollar with AP mint mark and a large date appearance. Even in circulated condition with scratches and signs of wear, this coin can command extraordinary interest because rare varieties, die differences, and historical significance all play a role in determining value. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964 as a tribute to the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, who was tragically assassinated in 1963. The obverse design was created by Gilroy Roberts, featuring a right-facing portrait of Kennedy that has become one of the most recognizable images on American coins. The reverse was designed by Frank Gasparo, featuring the presidential seal with the eagle holding arrows and an olive branch. This coin quickly became popular not only as currency but also as a collectible item due to its connection to a beloved president and its striking design. Over the decades, the Kennedy half-dollar has gone through several changes in composition and design. The 1984 half-dollar, for example, is composed of a copper-nickel clad, meaning it is primarily copper with a layer of nickel on the outside. This composition is typical for Kennedy half-dollars produced after 1970, when silver was removed from circulation coins due to rising silver prices. While many of these coins circulated widely, some examples stand out because of subtle differences in the date, mint mark, or die characteristics. During 1984, the United States Mint produced Kennedy half-dollars at both the Philadelphia and Denver facilities. Coins produced in Philadelphia carry a small P mint mark above the date on the obverse side. The P mint mark identifies the coin as being struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a detail that becomes important for collectors who track production locations and variations. While millions of 1984 P Kennedy half-dollars were released into circulation, rare varieties and subtle die differences can make some coins more valuable than their face value. One of the most closely examined features by collectors is the date. The numbers forming the year are engraved into the die used to strike the coin, and sometimes these numbers can vary slightly depending on the die. When the numbers appear larger, thicker, or slightly more prominent than typical examples, collectors often refer to the coin as having a large date variety. These variations may appear subtle to the untrained eye, but experienced numismatists recognize them immediately. A 1984 P. Kennedy half-dollar with a large date can be a rare find, even if the coin has been in circulation for decades. Even in circulated condition, with scratches and surface wear, such coins can attract attention in the collector market. While collectors typically prefer coins in uncirculated or mint state condition, rarity often outweighs condition when determining value. Coins that were once common in circulation can become significant if a rare die variety or historical error is discovered. This principle is true across all types of coins, including pennies, quarters, and, of course, Kennedy half-dollars. When a rare 1984 P. Kennedy half-dollar with a large date appears in an auction, the excitement among collectors can be intense. Auction houses, both online and in person, are the primary venues where rare coins change hands for significant sums. During the bidding process, collectors carefully evaluate the coin's authenticity, its condition, and its rarity. Even small scratches or signs of circulation may not diminish interest if the coin represents a sought-after variety. As the auction progresses, collectors compete to secure the coin, gradually driving the price higher and higher. In some cases, rare Kennedy half-dollars in fine circulated condition have sold for astonishing sums. Experts estimate that a 1984 P large date Kennedy half-dollar with significant collector interest could reach values near $100,000, depending on the specific characteristics and the intensity of competition among bidders. Such sales illustrate the power of rarity and historical significance in determining a coin's market value. Even though the coin may appear ordinary at first glance, collectors recognize the subtle details that make it extraordinary. The excitement of coin collecting stems from the possibility of finding a coin that is both historically significant and rare. Every coin has a story, and in the case of the Kennedy half-dollar, that story is connected to one of the most admired presidents in American history. Collectors not only value the coin for its metal content, but also for its cultural and historical significance. The Kennedy half-dollar serves as a tangible connection to the past, a piece of history that can be held in your hand. Searching for valuable coins like the 1984 P. Kennedy half-dollar requires patience, attention to detail, and a willingness to examine coins carefully. Many collectors go through rolls of coins, old jars of change, or inherited coin collections looking for subtle differences that might indicate a rare variety. Magnifying glasses and coin loops are often used to inspect numbers, edges, and other fine details that distinguish one coin from another. Side-by-side comparisons with other coins can help identify variations in the date, mint mark, or design that may not be immediately visible. Next coin, the 1980 Kennedy half-dollar with a P mint mark and a large date appearance. Even though this coin may show obvious wear, scratches, and years of dust, collectors know that rare varieties and subtle minting differences can make it extremely valuable, sometimes commanding extraordinary prices at auction. The Kennedy half-dollar is one of the most iconic coins in United States history. It was first introduced in 1964 to honor John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, who had been tragically assassinated the previous year. The obverse design was created by Gilroy Roberts, featuring a right-facing portrait of Kennedy, while the reverse design by Frank Gasparo depicts the presidential seal, complete with an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch. From the very beginning, this coin captured the attention of the American public, becoming both a circulating coin and a collectible item due to its historical significance. By 1980, the Kennedy half-dollar had been in circulation for 16 years, and its popularity among collectors continued. The coin from this year was struck in copper-nickel clad composition, typical for post-1970 Kennedy half-dollars after silver was removed from circulation coins. These coins were produced in large quantities at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with the Philadelphia coins bearing the P mint mark above the date. Even though millions of 1980 P Kennedy half-dollars were released into circulation, collectors have learned to pay attention to subtle variations in the die, including date size, mint mark placement, and other design characteristics. One feature that coin collectors examine closely is the date. During the minting process, the numbers are engraved into the die, and slight differences can appear depending on which die is used. A coin with slightly larger, thicker, or more prominent numbers in the date is often referred to as a large date variety. While the differences may be subtle, trained collectors can spot them instantly. The 1980 P. Kennedy half-dollar with a large date is one such variety that can attract attention even when it has been circulated and is dusty or scratched. Even though the coin shows signs of wear and circulation, rarity can outweigh condition when it comes to determining value. While collectors generally prefer coins in mint or uncirculated condition, rare die varieties and historically significant coins can still attract high prices. Coins that were once common in circulation can become highly sought after if collectors recognize unique features or variations that are difficult to find elsewhere. The process of minting coins involves striking blank metal discs, called planchets, with engraved dies under tremendous pressure. These dies can wear over time, crack, or be replaced with slightly different versions. Even small changes in the die can produce subtle variations in the coins, such as the shape of the numbers in the date or the spacing of letters and details in the design. Detecting these variations often requires careful observation, magnification, and experience. Now imagine discovering a 1980 P. Kennedy half-dollar in a dusty condition with scratches and wear, yet with a distinctive large date. To a casual observer, it may look like any other circulated coin, but collectors can immediately recognize its potential. The combination of its date, mint mark, and die variety makes it interesting in the world of numismatics. Even though the surface is worn and dusty, this coin could easily draw attention among those who study and collect Kennedy half-dollars. The value of a coin in today's market is determined by supply and demand. If a coin is rare and in demand among collectors, it can fetch high prices at auction. Auction houses, both online and in person, provide a platform for these rare coins to be sold to the highest bidder. In such settings, a 1980 P. Kennedy half-dollar with a large date, even in circulated condition, can attract competitive bidding. Collectors place bids based on the coin's rarity, historical significance, and verified features, driving the price higher as more collectors compete. A coin like this could realistically reach values around $90,000 in the auction market, especially if collectors recognize it as a rare variety. Even though the coin is dusty and has been circulated for decades, its historical significance, die characteristics, and connection to a beloved American president make it highly desirable. This example demonstrates that condition alone does not determine a coin's value. Rarity and collector interest are often more important. The excitement of coin collecting comes from the possibility that an ordinary-looking coin could be a hidden treasure. Collectors search through pocket change, jars of old coins, and inherited collections, looking for coins with subtle differences or die variations. Each coin has the potential to tell a story, and a Kennedy half-dollar, in particular, carries the legacy of a president whose life and impact are still remembered today. Magnification tools, such as coin loops or magnifying glasses, help collectors inspect coins closely. Subtle variations in the size of the numbers, the position of the mint mark, or the details of the design can reveal a rare variety. Side-by-side comparisons with other coins can also help collectors identify differences that might otherwise go unnoticed. Even a coin that appears dusty or worn can be scrutinized for these unique characteristics. Professional coin grading services are essential for verifying a coin's authenticity and value. A coin submitted to a grading service is examined by experts who evaluate its condition, die variety, and authenticity. Once certified, a coin's market value can be more confidently assessed, giving buyers and collectors assurance when purchasing it. Certification often increases a coin's desirability and auction value, particularly for rare varieties like the 1980 P. Kennedy half-dollar large date. Collectors of Kennedy half-dollars are particularly interested in coins with historical significance and rare die characteristics. A 1980 P. large date variety stands out because it represents a specific die difference that is not widely found. Even a coin in circulated, dusty condition can become a highlight in a collection if its rarity is verified. Collectors often compete intensely to acquire such coins, leading to high auction prices and making them prized pieces in private collections. Next coin, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar with a large date variety. Even without focusing on the mint mark, and even with scratches and wear, this coin is considered highly collectible and can command an impressive price in today's auction market, with values reaching as high as $140,000. The Kennedy half-dollar has a rich history. First introduced in 1964, it was created as a tribute to John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, who had been tragically assassinated the previous year. The obverse design features a right-facing portrait of Kennedy created by Gilroy Roberts, and the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, shows the presidential seal, complete with an eagle holding arrows and an olive branch. From its inception, the coin became both a circulating piece of currency and a collectible item because of its historical significance and striking design. The Kennedy half-dollar underwent several changes in composition over the years. Coins minted before 1971 contained silver, but post-1970 half-dollars are copper-nickel clad, which is the composition used for the 1974 half-dollar. These coins were produced in massive quantities at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with the mint mark serving to indicate the location of production. While the mint mark can influence collector interest, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar has become particularly notable for its large date variety, which can make even a circulated example highly sought after. Collectors examine many aspects of a coin to determine its rarity and potential value. The first thing they often study is the date. The numbers forming the year are engraved in the die, and small variations in size, thickness, or style can occur depending on which die was used. A coin with numbers that appear larger or more prominent than standard is described as a large date variety. While these differences may be subtle to the casual observer, they can dramatically affect a coin's value for collectors who specialize in die varieties and small differences. Even in circulated condition with scratches and wear, the 1974 large date Kennedy half-dollar can command attention. Rarity often outweighs condition when it comes to pricing coins in the collector market. While uncirculated coins are generally more desirable, rare die varieties or unusual features can make a circulated coin incredibly valuable. Coins that might appear ordinary in your pocket can suddenly become the centerpiece of a collection if they display an unusual variety. The process of minting coins provides an explanation for these variations. Each coin is struck from a blank metal disc called a planchet, which is pressed between two dies carrying the design. Over time, dies can wear, develop small cracks, or be replaced with new dies that have slightly different characteristics. Even small differences in the die, such as the size of the numbers or the spacing of design elements, can result in coins that are significantly different from one another. These subtle variations are precisely what collectors look for when identifying rare coins like the 1974 large date Kennedy half-dollar. Imagine discovering a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar with a large date variety. The coin may be scratched, scuffed, or show other signs of wear, but collectors immediately recognize the importance of the date. Even without worrying about the mint mark, this variety represents a rare piece that can bring high interest in the collector community. The coin's history, rarity, and subtle differences all contribute to its value, and it becomes more than just a $50, it becomes a piece of history. The value of a coin is largely determined by supply and demand. If a coin is rare and collectors want it for their collections, it can command a high price. Auction houses are often the venue where these rare coins are sold, bringing together collectors from around the world. When a coin like the 1974 large-date Kennedy $50 appears at auction, the bidding can become intense, especially among those who specialize in Kennedy $50 or rare U.S. coins. Even though the coin may be in circulated condition, bidders are willing to compete for a verified rare variety, driving the price higher and higher. Professional coin grading services play a critical role in confirming a coin's authenticity and value. A coin submitted to a grading service is examined by experts who evaluate its die variety, condition, and overall authenticity. Once certified, the coin's value is more easily established, and collectors can bid with confidence. Certification can increase a coin's desirability and market price because buyers trust the expertise of professional graders. Even though the coin may show scratches and signs of circulation, the 1974 large-date Kennedy $50 is a prime example of how rarity and collector interest can outweigh condition. Collectors are drawn not only to the coin's historical significance but also to the excitement of owning a piece that is difficult to find. Many coins that circulate unnoticed for decades can suddenly become the focus of intense interest if they possess unique characteristics that collectors value. Next coin, the 1996 Kennedy $50 with a P mint mark and a large date appearance. Even in circulated condition with scratches and a dusty surface, this coin can reach impressive prices in today's auction market, with values approaching $80,000. The Kennedy $50 has been an iconic American coin since its introduction in 1964. It was created to honor John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, whose assassination in 1963 shocked the nation. The obverse design features a right-facing portrait of Kennedy, created by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, depicts the presidential seal, complete with the eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch. From the very beginning, the Kennedy $50 was more than just currency. It became a collectible symbol of American history and a tribute to one of the most influential presidents in modern times. By 1996, the Kennedy $50 had been in circulation for over 3 decades. Coins from this era were struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, a standard introduced after 1970 when silver was removed from circulating $50 due to rising silver prices. The Philadelphia Mint produced a significant number of coins that year, all bearing the P mint mark above the date on the obverse. While millions of these coins were released into circulation, subtle variations during production can make some coins more valuable than others. Collectors carefully study details like the date, mint mark, and die characteristics to identify rarities. One of the features that collectors scrutinize closely is the date. During minting, the numbers forming the year are engraved into the die. Slight differences in size, thickness, or style can occur depending on the die used, creating varieties that may not be obvious to casual observers. A coin with slightly larger or more prominent numbers in the date is known as a large date variety. These subtle differences are highly significant to collectors because they can make a coin rare and therefore highly valuable, even if it shows wear and has circulated for years. Now imagine finding a 1996 Kennedy $50 with a P mint mark and a large date variety. The coin may be dusty, scratched, and clearly circulated, but collectors immediately recognize the importance of the date and mint mark. The large date variety is rare compared to the standard issue, making it a highly sought-after coin. Its condition does not diminish its value. In fact, even a coin in fine circulated condition can command attention because rarity often outweighs wear in the collector market. The process of minting coins provides insight into why these subtle variations exist. Each coin is struck from a blank metal disc called a planchet, which is pressed between 2 dies under immense pressure. Over time, dies can wear, develop small cracks, or be replaced with new dies that may have slightly different characteristics. Even tiny differences in the engraving can produce noticeable variations in the coins. The large date variety of the 1996 Kennedy $50 is a result of such differences, making it a unique piece in the eyes of collectors. The coin's condition, while not perfect, tells a story of decades of circulation. Scratches, scuffs, and dust accumulated over the years are evidence that this coin was used in everyday transactions. Yet despite these imperfections, the large date variety makes it valuable. Collectors understand that rarity and historical significance often outweigh condition when determining a coin's price. Coins that appear ordinary in daily life can suddenly become treasures when their unique features are identified. When a rare coin like the 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar with a large date appears at auction, excitement quickly builds. Auction houses provide a platform for collectors from around the world to bid competitively. Even though the coin may be dusty or scratched, bidders recognize its rarity and historical significance. Each bid pushes the value higher, creating an atmosphere of anticipation and competition. It is not uncommon for rare coins to reach prices that far exceed initial expectations, especially when multiple collectors recognize the coin's desirability. Professional grading services play a vital role in establishing the value of rare coins. Experts assess the authenticity, condition, and variety of the coin. Once certified, the coin is more attractive to collectors and can command higher prices. Certification provides assurance that the coin is genuine and accurately represents the rare features that make it valuable. A certified 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar with a large date is therefore more likely to attract competitive bidding and achieve prices approaching $80,000 in the auction market. The value of coins like this is determined largely by supply and demand. Even though millions of Kennedy half-dollars were minted in 1996, only a few examples exhibit the large date variety. The scarcity of these coins combined with collector interest drives up the price. This is why a coin in fine, circulated, and dusty condition can still be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for the opportunity to own a piece of history that is both rare and recognizable. Next coin, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with a large date variety. Even without focusing on the mint mark, and even in circulated condition with scratches and wear, this coin is considered highly collectible, with today's auction market valuing it at approximately $160,000. The Kennedy half-dollar has a long and fascinating history. First introduced in 1964, it was created to honor John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, who had been tragically assassinated in 1963. The obverse design features a right-facing portrait of Kennedy created by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, depicts the presidential seal, complete with an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch. From the moment it was released, the Kennedy half-dollar captured the attention of the American public and collectors alike. It was more than just currency, it was a tribute to one of the most admired presidents in modern history. By 1972, the Kennedy half-dollar had been circulating for nearly a decade. Coins from this period were produced in copper-nickel-clad composition, a standard introduced after 1970 when silver was removed from circulating half-dollars due to rising silver prices. Millions of coins were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, though collectors know that some varieties are far rarer than others. While many coins from 1972 are common, certain subtle differences make some examples highly sought after. One of these differences is the large date variety. Collectors pay close attention to the date on coins. During the minting process, the numbers are engraved in the die, and small differences in size, thickness, or shape can occur depending on which die is used. When the numbers appear larger or more prominent than standard, the coin is classified as a large date variety. These differences are usually subtle but significant to collectors, as they can transform an ordinary circulating coin into a rare and valuable piece. Even in circulated condition, with scratches, wear, and other signs of handling, a 1972 large date Kennedy half-dollar can command attention. Condition is always important in coin collecting, but rarity often outweighs wear. A coin that is scarce or possesses unique characteristics can be highly desirable even if it is not in pristine condition. This is exactly the case for the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with a large date. The minting process provides insight into why these variations exist. Each coin is struck from a blank metal disc, called a planchet, which is pressed between two dies under tremendous pressure. Over time, dies can wear, crack, or be replaced with new dies that have subtle differences in design. These small differences in the dies can result in coins with variations in the size of the date, the spacing of letters, or other design elements. Collectors study these details carefully to identify rare varieties, such as the 1972 large date Kennedy half-dollar. Imagine discovering one of these coins in your change. At first, it may look ordinary, dusty, and worn, but a trained collector can immediately recognize the importance of the date and the subtle differences in the numbers. Even without worrying about the mint mark, The large date variety makes this coin a rare find. Collectors understand that scarcity, historical significance, and unique design features can make a coin extremely valuable. The auction market is where coins like this often achieve their true value. Rare Kennedy half-dollars attract collectors from all over the world, who bid competitively to acquire these exceptional pieces. Even coins that have circulated and show signs of wear can sell for remarkable sums if they are verified as rare varieties. The competitive nature of auctions can drive prices higher, sometimes far beyond what most people expect for a single coin. For the 1972 large date Kennedy half-dollar, auction estimates suggest it could reach around $160,000, demonstrating the impact of rarity and collector demand. Professional coin grading services play a crucial role in authenticating and valuing these coins. Experts examine the coin's condition, verify its die variety, and confirm its authenticity. Once certified, the coin becomes more attractive to collectors and can achieve higher prices at auction. Certification provides assurance that the coin truly represents a rare variety, giving collectors confidence when bidding. A certified 1972 large date Kennedy half-dollar is therefore much more likely to achieve premium prices. Even though the coin is scratched and circulated, its rarity and historical significance make it highly desirable. Collectors are drawn not only to the coin's monetary value but also to its connection to history. The Kennedy half-dollar commemorates a beloved president and represents an era in American history, making it more than just currency. It is a tangible piece of the past. Coin collectors often spend hours searching through rolls of coins, jars of change, and inherited collections, hoping to find rare varieties like the 1972 large date Kennedy half-dollar. Magnification tools such as loupes or magnifying glasses help identify subtle differences in the date, the mint mark, or the overall design. Side-by-side comparisons with standard coins can reveal distinctions that transform a seemingly ordinary coin into a sought-after collectible.